Greetings, this is Jules Mancillon. I wanted to come today to make a little card reading for as this 11/11 Stargate is approaching, to look at the condition. I want to thank you for your comments. I may not have the access to all comments through my phone, so I will respond to them as I return. I'm sorry about the noise, I just got home, but there is two major constructions on each side of the house. So, and I wanted to get back from the beach because we looked like there was some storm coming, but so far so good. So let's see what the tarot has to say, what guidance spirit may wish to share with us today. So the situation is mean and heavy. So mean and heavy is a card that tells you, do not be like the world, do not be mean and heavy, be kind. Sometimes the world may seem to be really mean and heavy, for there is, like I said, there is all kinds of things. People are not always, we do not live in a world that is enlightened, and so the people have dealing with their own programming, and so some of them are not aligned with kindness, and so kindness is very, very important for life. It's so much easier once we achieve that level where we can be kind to all life. And so do not be mean and heavy, that's the main message. Do not let the world aggress you also. Just put yourself in a circle of light whenever it's needed, which you can bring in the light. Put your hand up there and bring in the light from above into your circle of light, and then it will create a shield against negativity. And so that has to be understood. Once this is understood, that all the imperfection, we are not here to look at all the imperfection of life in this world. There are too many imperfections, but if we look at that, we're wasting our time in something that do not bring us joy, do not bring us where we want to go. So it is important to pass over things, to forgive, to turn around things, and to allow the programmation of those everybody's programmation to run their course. And once we do that, we find blow your mind. Blow your mind. It's a complete release of tensions when we understand that our only responsibility is to be serene, is to be happy, is to be lucid, is to find wisdom, so that we can be free to create, to enjoy, to do whatever we want to do for the highest good of all. We can do amazing things without having to hurt anybody. The problem is that some people have used their power over others to manipulate, to control, and the whole society is built on, most of that society is built, most of the aspect of society from an external aspect could be understood from the standpoint of George Orwell philosophy, 1984. It's a domination, control, tyranny, accepting the tyranny, accepting the oppression of others. But as we become liberated, all of this becomes just smoke and mirror. There's nothing there. It's just a temporal illusion. For love and light are the only thing that are real, and that once we discover that, we can free ourselves from those karmic bondage of this false sense of responsibility, and we reach the real responsibility of our own true sense of self, true happiness. And to follow our heart in relationship to whatever our heart tells us is to try to align as much as possible, to allow the flow to overtake us, for there is a higher power that is beyond us, that is a higher self, that once we are able to integrate that, then we are able to flow with the flow, and we are always informed ahead of time of all the things that are going to be happening. We get a great deal of understanding from the past, and we have a great deal of vision towards the future. So it is about connecting to our soul, for our soul already knows all those things. Right now it is about slaying the ego. It is what surrounds the situation. So slay the ego. The ego is not something necessarily negative. There is a negative ego and a positive ego. Some people are deeply ingrained in negative ego. It's an old Orion perspective, domination and so on. But the ego is in many sense the opposition of the soul. For we need an ego. It is our individual self. We cannot do, even when our soul has become fully integrated, it will no longer be, will be completely free of negative ego, but will still be individualized. And so there is nothing wrong about the ego. Every part of us is divine and sacred. It is just that our ego is still the false self, the illusion self, and God is the highest, truest self. And our soul is the, once we find the soul, we find the truth, we find eternal life, we find God, we find everything. And so it is about slaying the ego. Sometimes life has to be really hard on us to teach us lesson. It is because God loves us that He the punishments of life, the karma, what we call all those things that are not really enjoyable, come because of necessity of evolution. If we wouldn't, because if those things would not happen, then life could not evolve. If life could not evolve, the whole universe would disappear, and so that God does not want the universe to disappear. So He will continue this process of evolution eternally. There will never be an end. Yet once we find the point of freedom, the point of lucidity, then we are free and we can live our life on a higher cycle. So once we slay the ego, we are able to discover the fruits, the elixir fruit, the essence. It is the ability to test all things. From once we are fully merged into love, we are able to test everything. And once if there is darkness within anything we want to test, we see it and we transmute it. We bring light into it, and all things can become enjoyable. There is many things to enjoy, many higher pleasure, once we discover those higher senses, we'll discover a deeper sense of sensitivity, and we'll discover deeper pleasure. Right now it is about saying that we do want to test everything. We want the best of things, we want pleasure, and so that there's nothing wrong about that. It's just as taught the Master of Wisdom says, there is 3 powers that are given to the Master. The first power is to transmute evil. The second power is to assist good, and the third power is to use discrimination. Now, what we see before us, that's in front of our eyes, that will unfold in the future, it is puja. It is the purifying bath. It is purification. It is a sense. It is an alchemical sense of purification in order to achieve the harmonization, the blending of the yin and the yang within ourselves, to reintegrate the divine feminine and the divine masculine in a balanced way. So this purification is necessary. It is not something. It is not necessarily something easy, but we do need to cleanse ourselves of all kinds of unnecessary things, hubris, all kinds of things that are preventing us from experiencing true joy in life. And so this purification may be needed. It's just a process. It's just a little process that we need to go through in order to find freedom. What we have deep buried within our subconscious in the past is soma. Soma is the moon. It is the phallic mushroom. It's something that will re-emerge from the subconscious eventually, and it is all the test of life. For when we move through the shadow of the valley of death, we shall fear no evil, because we know that light. Those shadows are illusions, so we traverse it without even looking at it. We just move directly into the light. And so, because this card always can, although it is in the past, maybe it talks about the tests that we've had to go through in the past to achieve this initiation. Right now we are arriving at what we call a deep end. So it is very much an ending that is very, very deep, and so that there will be a new beginning. Right now we are finishing an old cycle. It is from a cosmic standpoint, even from a soul standpoint, it is a very, very long cycle. It's just emerging what is known in India as the Kali Yuga, which is the age of darkness, the age of decadence. So the law is different. There's decadence of the law, and so but the law is still one. The law is still perfect. So we just have to end the old cycle to move on to a higher aspect of the law. And for that we need to trust that God has plans for us, and the more we can live in surrender of our divine essence, we can open ourselves to the guidance of spirit and guides and angels, the easier things will come for us, because those spirit guides are not are here to assist us, to rediscover, to retune, to align ourselves to our I am presence, our divine self. And so they are amazing resources. They are amazing beings. I'm a chance to know some of my guides. I work with a lot of spirits. What is coming for us in the near future is the castle in the clouds. It's a card of imagination. Imagination is very powerful. We have to build our imagination. We have to build our dreams. If you do not let the universe know what you really want, then how can the universe manifest it? First, you have to know that you deserve to have what you want. Second, you have to know that the universe can bring it to you. Then you have to know that you may have to wait for all the energies to be aligned for that, depending on what it is, for it to come into your physical reality. But in essence, this castle in the clouds, it is by using the power of imagination. Albert Einstein said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge, for he knew that it is through imagination that we are able to our curiosity for life, that we are able to expand beyond the limited realm of the physical senses. So it is very good to continue to project yourself into these higher planes of consciousness, into the higher astral planes, where there is all kinds of marvels in those planes. It's just a matter of knowing that you can access this dreamscape consciously more and more. What we are in this situation, we are the waves of bliss. That's something. The waves of bliss. So this is what our trump cards is. With those are the baggage we have in this situation. Is love. It is unity. It is love. Is one. Love is inclusive. Love knows no frontier, knows no barriers. There is no separation, limitation within love. Love, just love. There is no. Love does not know how to do anything but love. So once you move into that frequency, you open your heart to love, then life happens. New things in life happen. The more we are able to integrate this oneness, the greater our vision of oneness can be, the more expansive our ascension will become. But no matter where we end up, as long as we are able to achieve that sphere of light, then we'll grow from there after that. So it is very important to reach whatever level is comfortable for you, but to know that this is really what your soul is really involved in bringing you to that point of freedom. What surrounds the situation, what is in the environment, is as above, so below. It is the blessing of heaven going down into the earth. It is knowing that anything can be transmuted. Everything that is lower also exists on a higher plane, but on a pure state. Like Plato used to, I think it was Plato that really emphasized that idea of higher object, that we are but little fraction of something much greater that exists outside the cavern. So it is amazing blessings that comes to us from the outer world. This we have to be open to receive as we do this purification. New blessings, new energies come into our life. This month will be very powerful. What we hold in our intention, in our emotion, our hopes and fear, is the wish fulfilling gem. It is deep, profound love, sharing. It is the ability that this love bring all the things that we need, this complementary love that brings everything together and that assists the whole plan of our life, that it is like a completion. For we do not really need a partner to achieve that, but once we achieve wholeness and fullness within ourselves, it is natural that we attract another person that is also whole and full, that is the perfect complement on the soul frequency level, that will complement us, with whom life will be easy. Will not longer be karmic relation. There will be a struggle to keep the relationship active and fun. It will be naturally there. But before that, we have to align ourselves in many sense. And the key and the outcome is the same card that we got in the French reading. So it is the living goddess. It is reintegrating the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It is a goddess. She's so beautiful. We cannot look at her in the eyes because it would be too overwhelming. So it is about finding this balance, finding to know that all these dreams can be crystallized. Everything will come into realization, fulfillment, when we are ready. So it is up to us to make ourselves ready for whatever we've been asking for, and things will happen. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you very much for your comment, your sharing, the subscription, your likes, and I'll come to you with some new video very soon. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this grand portal of 1111, and if you have any question, do not hesitate to leave it to me. I may not be able to respond to comments right away, but I will attend to them as soon as I return. Thank you very much. Namaste.